Greetings and welcome back to Coolest Gamers Let's Play of Assassin's Creed Origins Part 22. In this video I finish wrapping up my looting of the Temple of Amun, and we head to get the papyrus solved in the Qatar Depression. About 5 minutes in, this should cut straight to the Qatar Depression. I decided to skip over that little trip because somewhat boring. Ooh. Better be careful with that hidden blade, bro. It's gonna go through their head and fucking pierce your hand on the other side. You're too savage with that shit. These Greeks have underdeveloped brains. They were born to everything they could possibly need, and they never needed to think much. That's right, I just reversed a racist evolutionary trope on its head. That's what we do here at Coolest Gamer. We are nothing if not progressive. To be honest, it feels really satisfying in this game to just be stealing all sorts of shit from white people. I mean, I'm white, but it's like watching Inglourious Bastards and kind of wishing that you were Jewish so that you could feel even more badass when they kill Hitler and turn his face to spaghetti, you know? It's like I envy the righteous vengeance of other races against my own people. Found a duet there. That's fairly good. I find a better duet just off of a random ship later on, but that one should hold me over for now. I don't use it that much though. I honestly prefer like the maces and just the regular swords over any other weapon type. The maces are good because they can pretty much like one-shot execute depending on how strong they are. And the swords are nice because they're very balanced weapons in general. I like the curved swords as well though, the sickle swords. So that's the temple looted there. Go pick up that bit of copper, I think it is, that I managed to intercept. I have no idea how I got that lucky. They were just going through the temple at that time. Iron, yeah, I got 10 iron there. I think that goes towards the hidden blade upgrades. Whew.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
I suppose the explanation they could have for all these characters speaking English is that, you know, like, I'm in the Animus, so that's what I hear. The Animus is an auto-translator. But it still doesn't explain all those idioms, those English idioms that somehow make their way into the game. So I set a custom marker for the Qatar Depression, and one of the nice features of this game is that you can follow the road and then press triangle to go to custom markers on autopilot. So you can do other stuff when you're doing a lot of traveling. It'll just go on autopilot for you. You watch YouTube videos, eat some food, masturbate, whatever you want, you know? The game is accommodating to modern needs. I have to say I was watching some Jimpression videos of Super Mario Odyssey today, and it's kind of strange that this game and Super Mario Odyssey came out on the same day, and they both kind of fight back against the loot box system and like microtransactions and whatnot. That, I mean, Odyssey is pretty much completely absent. Like, there's none of that shit in there. But in this game, you still have the option to spend real money, but you can still earn everything in the game. So we cut forward to the Qatar Depression, which is this very beautiful region. Absolutely love this place. It's full of enemies that are skulls to me though, so I think I end up dying to bandits a few times. Just trying to run my way through this area. Reminds me of the good old days of World of Warcraft when I'd want to go and exploit regions like Mount Hyjal, and I was far under leveled to be going there, so I would be running away from mobs that were much more powerful than me. Just trying to get into an exploited area, and getting the papyrus scroll here, I'm doing it well ahead of time, really. The loot that you pick up from these scrolls, I think, matches your level, so that's nice. You can pretty much do all the scrolls at any time you want. But it's probably recommended to kind of space out the scrolls as you level up, so that, you know, the loot that you get from the scrolls will be a lot more useful over time. But yeah, these guys just fucked me up. I didn't realize they were skull enemies. Clearly not supposed to be here yet. I'm sure this story will bring me here eventually, but at the moment it's not branching out too far from Alexandria.
I said that the royal scribe is often at the bathhouse. I will keep...
So we're trying to figure out the solution to this scroll. It takes me quite a while. We're essentially looking for an oasis. The only place that isn't sad and dry in the Qatar Depression. I at first misinterpreted this though, and just went to the nearest valley entrance that I could find. It also mentions having to go to where the valley opens up. So I make my way to the clear opposite side of the map from where the oasis is actually located. And it isn't until I basically fly Senu all across the map that I finally find it. But I'm proud of myself. I found it myself. I didn't go online for that shit. The riddles in this game are fairly diverting, so... I mean, I don't think it's worth it to go look them up online. I think it's actually rewarding and fun to do it yourself. And they're not so ridiculously challenging that you'd have to be a fucking genius or something to figure them out. They just require following clues. See, I broke off the road there since the enemies are so much more powerful than me. Turns out there's only like 2 or 3 choke points in this map where they set up ambushes. The only other thing to worry about in this area are predators. I think at some point I see a fucking lion. That about scared the piss out of me. It also turns out that the oasis that I find later on is full of hyenas, which are also skulls, and that's quite a fun experience. Trying to read this to get some more clues. We're looking for a tree halfway in between the sun and the moon at dawn. We're between like the rising of the sun and the shadow of the moon or some shit like that. I actually grossly overthink this puzzle when I do find the oasis. It's a lot simpler than I thought it was at the time. So I believe that's one of the ambush points. As you can see, I get set upon here. I barely make it out of here alive. 1 or 2 arrows is almost enough to kill me. I managed to break the line of sight though and get away. The music in this game is really nice. It's very blood pumping music. It's very action-y and adrenaline pumping, you know, but at the same time it has that authentic feel, I guess. I don't know if you can call anything that Ubisoft does in the Assassin's Creed franchise authentic, but you know, it gives you the atmosphere, I guess. It gives you the Western view of what Egyptian life must be like. I also find one of the constellation circles in this area, which leads to a quest called Bayek's Promise, where you just go and you basically find the viewpoints for all the constellations in the sky. You get ability points from it, I think. And you get to complete a quest upon finding all of them and aligning all the constellations. So we lost those assholes, and this is where I believed the puzzle was leading me. I don't know why. I don't know what about this place isn't dry and sad. I guess I saw a bunch of trees and I was like, ooh, this is promising. So yeah, now I'm trying to advance time so I can get to dawn, try to solve the puzzle at the time it appointed me, using the dusk and dawn ability from the seer tree. So the puzzle basically tells you that you have to act fast because the sun moves quickly and the shadow will advance, and so the specific tree you're looking for in between, I guess, like the shadow and the moon will lose its apparency over time. This is not the right area though. So, you know, if you're watching this, don't go here. Don't waste your time. Don't cross the Katara Depression from Siva and make the same mistake I did. It's actually in that direction that Sinu is facing right now. I don't discover that until later on though. So, for those of you who watch Stranger Things 2, what do you think? I just finished episode 6, The Spy, and it's ramping up in excitement, but at the same time, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like more of the same. It just feels like it's retreading a lot of the plot points from the first season. I mean, it is reinventing certain things as well, but without revealing any spoilers. What do you guys think? I'll have to switch the audio tracks here in a sec. In fact, I only got about 6 more minutes on this video. I'll take care of that now. Boom, and I'm back.
Whoa.
Whoa. Watch out for those guys. There's actually a lot of cool weather effects in this game. There's a sandstorm that chases me later on. Everything is beautifully rendered, of course. I read somewhere online that 30 frames per second is the more cinematic way of viewing video games, which I'm almost inclined to agree with, because high frame rate photography and things like movies have always kind of been a problem to me. I know that everyone's saying, you know, high frame rate's the way to go, that's the way of the future and everything, but for instance, with the Hobbit trilogy, I hated, hated the high frame rate filming in those movies. Because it just made, I don't know, it made it just look like, I don't know how to explain it, like every day. It made it look like I was watching people in real life and not on a screen. You know, I was born in 1992. I grew up on, you know, regular frame rate movies, cinematic movies, you know, where things have a kind of lush slowness to the rendering of the frames. That's what I'm used to, and I guess that makes me a bit of an old curmudgeon when it comes to high frame rates. Visually speaking, but of course performance-wise they're superior. In video games I prefer them, but not in film. I can't stand them. A lot of people, when I make that complaint about the Hobbit movies, though, they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. They're like, oh man, those movies are beautiful. I don't think so. I really don't. I think those movies are made uglier and jarring by the high frame rates. So, sending Senu across the desert to see what he can see. Looking for a place that is not so sad and dry as all this. I thought that might have been it. Looks like an important place with this single tree there. This game is actually packed, though, with so much attention to detail that I find something there that's lore related. It was really strange. It's just some random spot in the desert, but, you know, someone's been there. It is such a picturesque little spot. Looks like something you would see, like, Associated Press taking photos of or something for a special about the plight of Egyptians under their modern day government. Because Egypt, from what I've heard, still sucks nowadays. There's that sandstorm I was talking about. I mean, look at that. That's beaut. You can hear it coming down on us.
Whoa.
So yeah, I do the Animus Pulse, and sure enough I find something. Something I thought might have been the treasure, but no. I have decided today will be a good day. I pray for will and happiness and things, and all sorts of desert adventure-y type sentiments. Wasn't a very remarkable note. I find that. That was cool.
I search the area, trying desperately to find the treasure, and discover I'm not on the right trail. This video is about to wrap up. I think this might be where the part where my game crashes, because rendering the sandstorm is too much. Might be in the next video. Anyway, we're coming to a close of this video, guys. Thanks for watching this Desert Travels little piece of my adventure. And I'll see you on the next installment. Love you. Take care.